So I'm leaving on a jet plane, don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I miss you so. Okay. In another life, I wished I was a folk singer-songwriter. But the reason I started off with that one is I've been traveling a lot lately, and 2018 is a big year of travel for me. And what I know is that it is really much more of a challenge to eat well when you're traveling. Even if you're going to countries that have great food, you're out of your comfort zone, you're in airports, you're flying, you're in an airplane where they're always offering you, the only thing they offer you really is substandard food or drinks with sugar in it, water in plastic bottles, you can't bring your own spring water. There's literally hundreds of reasons of why I find it really frustrating to eat well. And for me, one of the biggest things that I'm addicted to is bringing my own spring water when I travel and finding it. So I don't know about you, but when you're hungry and you are traveling in an airport and you may have time in your hands or you're experiencing stress, it can be really difficult to make good and healthy choices. So I want to share with you some of my top tips for traveling well. A really important thing to note is that when you're traveling, different countries have different laws and regulations about what you can and cannot take on airplanes. And so one of the tips that works in some countries, not all of them, so you have to check, is to let people know that the food you're traveling with is important to your well-being and you're doing it for health reasons. If you have a medical condition, they often don't even question what you've got food-wise. And really, the food that you're taking is medicine. So you can actually say, this is prescriptive or prescribed food for me. You can tell them that Sweet Freedom prescribed it for you. So number one, you have to have some emergency things when you're traveling. You need to check locally what's available, but even just having a really good quality, low sugar kind of protein bar will save you from having something at the airport that you know is going to make you feel crappy. A lot of people don't know that airplane food, the actual meals that they prepare, are bumped up with things like salt and sugar because your taste buds actually change in the air. So, and this is my theory, it's not proven, but on long-haul flights, I also think that they might put something in the food that stops you from being more regular, okay? Total theory, nothing to back it up except experience. But we do know that food varies greatly from country to country, and it can just be quite atrocious, particularly in airports and on airplanes. So I try and avoid it at all costs. I even try to avoid having bottled water in plastic cups, just because literally millions of those cups are used every day. I travel with my own water bottle, and if I'm absolutely thirsty, I'll get them to fill it with some ice and some of the water. But I'm not a big consumer of plastic bottled water because of the xenoestrogens in it. So if you can travel with your own water in your checked luggage, in secure, steel bottles and things like that, it's great. So when you get off your flight, you can have some really good quality water when you get off. So hydration is really important. You can also travel with herbal tea bags. So if you're feeling like soft drinks is your kind of temptation thing, pop a herbal tea bag into some boiling water, and it can really help with that kind of fighting that craving piece. Nuts and seeds are great to travel with, and if you are feeling like that sweet thing, have an orange. Like, travel with like a navel orange if you're allowed to get it, or if you can purchase it after you go through security. One thing that's going to happen with the orange is if you have to peel it yourself, just the act of peeling it gives you a bit of a pause. You get the beautiful kind of aromas of the oils from the citrus that actually help your autonomic nervous system. It gets you ready to eat it. And then when you segment the orange and you eat individual pieces, instead of having a juice or something like that, you're actually getting the fiber and you're getting more nutrients for having it as a whole food, and it takes time to eat it, and you're chewing, so your chances of being satiated are much higher. Another thing that I do when I travel is from the airport to wherever I'm staying, I usually have my taxi driver or my Lyft driver stop at a Whole Foods type place on the way. And there I will stock up with veggies, with spring water, some fruit, and things like coconut chips that have the fat in it, that can have the little salty kind of thing. And I actually travel with a collapsible bowl, a little chopping board, a little fruit knife that has a sheath over it. Obviously, this is all in my checked luggage. A little citrus juicer, and essentially in a fork and a knife, or even chopsticks. And essentially, I can make a salad anywhere I am, as long as I go and stop and do that. Now, I will make a full-on salad in my hotel room, no problem. I've made things like even nut pucks in my hotel room. Crazy, but I love it. For those of you who go, I'm never going to take that time and trouble to do that. What you can do is you can actually research before you go a local health food shop that you can actually have pre-made meals made that are just basically veggies, soups. I went to a place recently where I traveled out of San Diego to go and get the most amazing salads and soups and smoothies that were just made perfectly. Okay, so we often think that it's kind of crazy to do that, but what's crazier? Going to the effort to make sure that when you're traveling that you're actually nourished and protected, so that you have the energy to do the things that you need to do when you're traveling and come back so you're not sick, or spending a bunch of money in a hotel getting food that is not nourishing. It's going to have some chemicals in it. It's going to have tons of salt and fat and oils that are not healthy put in it, and then having a few drinks at the bar and that kind of thing. The time that you're actually doing all of that, you could actually be just on your way to the airport, picking up a few things, or getting meals that are truly healthy delivered. The bottom line is that when you're traveling, you're out of your comfort zone, you don't have the same resources, but where there is a will, there is a way. And if you're committed to really taking care of yourself, the act of self-love, of nourishing yourself, it's not a matter of how, it's really tying into your why. And when you get really clear on that, when you're traveling, the resources and the way forward will come to you. It's just a matter of committing to it and putting a little bit of extra in that I promise you will pay dividends, multiple dividends, way more than what you're investing in. So traveling doesn't have to be a nightmare. And in the worst case scenario, we talk about practicing intermittent fasting and just resisting in the moment. So having the hydration going forward, knowing that when you get to your destination, you're going to be nourished. There you go, some traveling tips to achieve sweet freedom when you're on the road. I hope that helps. If you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up and like it. Subscribe to the channel and share it with people you care about that can benefit from this. And join our incredibly supportive Facebook group. And lastly, if you're looking to get sugar-free naturally, follow the links below and find out more about the Sweet Freedom online program.